Hello and welcome to Cage of Cat. And if you saw my last video, which barely any of you have because there's only like 2 or 3 views on it, then you should probably go watch that last video because this video is a continuation of the last video. But because I can only post 15-minute long videos to YouTube, and that was around almost 15 minutes already. So this will be, in fact, sort of follow-up video for the last one. So if you don't remember what the last video was, I was talking about future Plants vs. Zombies game concepts. In this video, I'll be talking about some of the ones I didn't have enough time to fill. One of them, the 8 Plants vs. Zombies Augmented Reality, which I didn't have enough time for to put into the last video. And if I have any time left over, I'll talk about my idea for Plants vs. Zombies 5. Because, well, if you saw the last video, the 2 ideas I talked about was Plants vs. Zombies 4, which would be kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of story thing. You'll have to watch the last video to understand in more detail. And also Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand, which was supposed to be like a survival tower defense game, which, oh boy, I forgot to mention it was a survival game in that video. But yeah, I guess I didn't have enough time. But some other things to note. There's some things I'd like to talk about more in depth about that game, but I just didn't feel like talking about the game at all today. So, yeah. Anyway, in the background, I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies 2 right now, and later in the video, we go to Plants vs. Zombies, the original. I cut up to the first wave in the Plants vs. Zombies original gameplay. It was like, I believe it was 1-9, but I was like, people threw the game already on that save. Actually, I unlocked everything in that save. But yeah, so that's 100% the save besides for some achievements I'm missing. But still. But yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah. And there's also some Plants vs. Zombies 2 gameplay because I haven't done a Plants vs. Zombies 2 video since like last Halloween. Which is kind of funny. So seeing that game again is kind of a bit unique. But yeah. Anyway. So now let's get into the first concept, which would be Plants vs. Zombies AR, Plants vs. Zombies Augmented Reality. If you hear VR, that means virtual reality. If you hear AR, that means augmented reality. But augmented reality is basically what Pokemon Go is, except Pokemon Go also is an augmented reality at the same time. Or it's also what Minecraft Earth is. So, in Pokemon Go, when you're catching the Pokemon and you can actually see them in the real world added to it, that's the augmented reality part of Pokemon Go. Walking around with like actual GPS locations is actually not augmented reality. But the actual part, augmented reality part of Pokemon Go is when you're catching Pokemon and you can see them in the real world. But most people have that off, so they're not even playing Pokemon Go as an augmented reality game. However, when doing a raid in Minecraft Earth or doing, building on a build plate in Minecraft Earth, that's using augmented reality. So Minecraft Earth is more of an augmented reality game than Pokemon Go. Also, that means that augmented reality games don't have to be forced that you have to move around in real life. I know there's some that exist in, just you can play in your house, like. I don't know anything about them, but I do know those exist on some platforms. And another note is that, augmented reality games can, you could probably make remake Plants vs. Zombies 1 and put it as an augmented reality game where you just play on your kitchen table or something. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's more like Pokemon Go. or Minecraft Earth, one of the two. It's kind of like in between. But yeah, I had to get that out of the way. Now let's finally, after 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, talk about the first concept. Oh yeah, and also the timeline thing would be important to remember for the Plants vs. Zombies 5. But in augmented reality will actually be the beginning and the end of the timeline. I don't even know how to explain it, but basically it's the end of the timeline, but the beginning of the timeline as well for Plants vs. Zombies, which would be interesting. I don't know how it will work exactly, but I'll give you the end and the beginning so the whole timeline cycles through again. All the time with Plants vs. Zombies. That would be kind of an idea. But yeah. Anyway. So what's the first Oh yeah, here's the first thing. Plants vs. Zombies AR, or augmented reality, I'm going to call it AR for short, we're kind of like, other augmented reality games. But instead, this could actually be played just around your house. You don't need to go to the city like in Pokemon Go. Pokemon only spawn around Pokestops. There's not many where I live, so it kind of ruins the game. Well, that's why I play Minecraft Earth, because there's, stuff that spawns just around you. So what if in this game, the Pokestop feature is actually player-made? So the idea is players will actually place down gardens, and you'll actually start with one in the tutorial, where you can place them down almost anywhere. Well, the game will have a yard by cubic yard thing for placement, so that you place in that yard. Well, it's 2D on the ground, but still. But it's a yard by a yard for the placement of stuff. But that's how gardens and plants are placed. But you actually place there's two modes, there's AR mode and map mode. In map mode you can collect gardens and stuff, and in AR mode you can, actually plant the fences, because unlike other games, the gardens can actually be lost. The whole point of the game is to defend gardens and get stronger plants to defend against stronger zombies. So you can have a garden outside of your house or in your backyard and defend that for fun. That's like a fun game, as like a sort of mini game thing you could do. But yeah. Anyway, so the first few concepts of the game will be how do you get plants. So you start with plant seeds, which this wouldn't be like how the leveling up plants work in other Plants vs. Zombies games. Instead, what you do is you actually plant the seeds, and then it takes some time, and they'll grow into a plant, which you can defend your yard with. So the seeds are used to grow more plants, if that makes sense. So you have a limited amount of plants depending on how many seeds you have, and gardens can give you seeds, so if that makes sense. That's it. Alright. Also, if you plant a plant, it's also like a clan thing where if you live in like the same like area, you can all be in the same clan and donate stuff to each other. Everyone's on the same team, but like the clan's like closer on the same team than other people, but everyone's like not against each other. It's all, everyone's on the plant side, but there's different teams and stuff, people and stuff. But you can dig up your friends or your teams or your own plants and put them into your inventory and transplant them somewhere else with a special shovel item. Instead of having to lean your plants with a shovel, you just pick them up. If that makes sense. So you can have your plant in your inventory and then plant somewhere else, but you have to grow them over time. Like a pea shooter to get through all of its growth stages may only take an hour. So this is kind of like the Zen Garden mode in Plants vs. Zombies 1. Or it takes some time to grow a plant and then they start being really good. And they start out as like this little seedling thing. Every plant will start out in that stage, and after that stage it'll become a baby version of the plant, which can do weaker amounts of damage compared to a normal plant. Seedling will not be able to do any damage at all. But then it'll eventually grow up to a full plant, and then if there's such a say, and there's a whole breeding mechanic too. So the two ways to get seeds would be three ways is from gardens, from random pop-up seed things that just spawn around, where you can just get seeds by walking around, like kind of like Minecraft Earth. And the third one will be from breeding your plants, which is what you can want to do. Maybe you have a spot in your backyard or something where you breed plants, or I have a garden somewhere, like if you live in like a big city where you can just breed plants with other people. But yeah, in this game, plants would have special traits, and some plants of different types could breed together, and they'll determine different plants. Like a fire pea and the ice pea would make a normal pea, or like a normal pea and the fire pea would make like a fire pea shooter sort of deal. But yeah. Anyway, also plants that have different genetic looks to them, so when you're breeding, you get different genetic looks and different traits. Let's just say you have two pea shooters, and plants can also get mutations depending on the environment. So there's three special trait slots and 3 mutation slots. But the thing is, there's only 5 slots for special modifications. So one of the special trait spots is also shared with a mutation spot. So you get one or the other. So there's only really 5 spots, but still slots. So when you breed 2 plants together, you can sometimes get a mutation, or from breeding 2 different types of plants together that can breed together, you would get a mutation sometimes, and that could give you special stat bonuses to the plant, or different abilities, things like that. And then another thing is, let's just say you have 2 plants breeding together, and let's just like it's 2 pea shooters breeding together, and then you have a walnut. The 2 pea shooters make another pea shooter because they also cross-pollinate with the walnut a little bit. The pea shooter may have more health or something like that. So that's what the special traits are for. And the mutations are just the same from breeding with the same type of plant, and the mutations can actually be brought down with other plants. Well, the special traits are basically given from a different plant that's nearby it, if that makes sense. And that's what and then once the plant is fully formed in stage, they'll start producing seeds, which you can collect. First, they'll collect for the plant, will collect them. Then they'll start getting into the garden. So when you collect seeds from the garden, you get special variations. And then they'll just start blowing around. Once the garden gets full of those seeds, then they start planting themselves around the area, if that makes sense. That's kind of the order of how things would work. But yeah, so breeding plants would be like how breeding in Pokemon works, where you're trying to breed for the best stats possible, if that makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, and also defending the gardens would be kind of a crucial part, because those are where you get your resources from. You can also buy more gardens, but it's kind of expensive and takes some quests doing and stuff to get more. So, but you can also get resources from other people's gardens, and if it's from the same team as you, you get even more points. So yeah, and that's just I explained like the breeding mechanic and the gardens and stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think of that concept? There could be more done with this, but that's just my basic idea. I wanted to go mostly into depth with the breeding mechanic and explain how the gardens work and stuff. And there'll also be a lot of different zombies and tons of different plants from previous games, plus new ones. But that's how that game would work. I just wanted to cover a lot of the mechanics from that game. But yeah. And then oh yeah. So if that makes sense, that's kind of how the mechanics of this game would work. Plants vs. Zombies AR. EA or PopCap, whoever make the game, because, PopCap's owned by EA. Let's just hope the next few Plants vs. Zombies games aren't as scummy as Plants vs. Zombies 3. But yeah. Anyway. Plants vs. Zombies, I just hope AR is, Plants vs. Zombies AR will be... I'll let them do some ideas, add some things onto that along with Plants vs. Zombies. All my games is just, I'm giving a basic concept idea. Not the fully fledged game concept. Just parts of a game concept that could be used later. But then the next game I wanted to talk about, because we have like 4 minutes left, is Plants vs. Zombies 5. So, if you know, Plants vs. Zombies 1 is out, and everyone knows how that plays. Plants vs. Zombies 2 has also been out, and most people know how that plays, because most people have a mobile device to play it on. Plants vs. Zombies 3 is in the soft release in part of the world right now. It should fully release soon, or even at the time of this video, after people have watched this video. And that leaves Plants vs. Zombies 4, which I talked about in my last video, which should be pretty interesting. If you saw that. And Plants vs. Zombies 5, I feel like just at some point there needs to be a Plants vs. Zombies game that's kind of like all the other previous main series games kind of partially put together, and kind of all put together, sort of. If that makes sense, like parts for them, and having every single plant in the game. Well, not every single plant, but most of the plants in the game. And being like, I don't know, a really long game. Because Plants vs. Zombies 4, if you remember, is supposed to be kind of be like it's supposed to be like a multi-choice game, so there wouldn't really be updates for this game. Plants vs. Zombies 5 would be made for updates. So, like 3 years after Plants vs. Zombies 3, maybe Plants vs. Zombies 4 will come out, and 3 years after that, Plants vs. Zombies 5 will come out. But at the same time, Plants vs. Zombies 3 would still be updated until 5's release. Because Plants vs. Zombies 3 would kind of be like the main game at the time, while Plants vs. Zombies 4 is meant for everyone to play. Plants vs. Zombies 5 should also be ported to every single device that they can port it to. But yeah. Anyway, so then I have to cut to like my random background footage I have, because I'm running out of film. But yeah. How Plants vs. Zombies 5 would work is without every single level type from every single Plants vs. Zombies game. So the day level from Plants vs. Zombies 1, the night level, the pool, the fog and the roof from Plants vs. Zombies 1, on top of the night roof, which doesn't have a name, but maybe we call it storm, and then we like a storm levels. But because the night roof is only at one level, which is a zombie boss fight. But I would call it storm, maybe. I like a storm going on in the background, and like maybe lightning would destroy plants and stuff. On top of having all the hardness of the roof. All the worlds in Plants vs. Zombies 2 each have their own background and have special features with them. But yeah, that's how that game would. All the backgrounds of Plants vs. Zombies 2, which are like Big Lake Beach, Ancient Egypt, including the Chinese version of the game. So the Plants vs. Zombies 2, the Chinese version of the game, has completely different worlds. They share a few worlds like Ancient Egypt, but most of the worlds are different on completely different plants. All of those worlds' backgrounds will also be in this game. On top of the special secret levels at the end of Plants vs. Zombies 1, which are exclusive to some country, I forgot what country. But yeah, then to have all Plants vs. Zombies 3's backgrounds, and also Plants vs. Zombies 4's backgrounds would be in this game. Well, the plants from most of the plants from those games, some will work like Plants vs. Zombies 1, along with plant food and tacos. I can kind of explain how Plants vs. Zombies 4 would work. But yeah, all the backgrounds would show up from every game, top of new ones. But all the backgrounds would be turned into a 3D background for 3D plants. If that makes sense, so the plants have their original art style mainly, but a 3D version of it. But yeah, a level design would kind of be like Plants vs. Zombies 2 Eclipse, which is a mod for Plants vs. Zombies 2. Well, like, the levels would be pretty unique. And, and it'll be a linear game, mostly a linear game, with, levels being, in normal order. But that's kind of how that game will work. I'm running out of time, so yeah. But it'll be a pretty unique game, Plants vs. Zombies 5, but yeah. And it'll be constantly updated too at new levels. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to Cage Cat on YouTube. And wow, this is a long video. And peace. And also join my Discord server, please.